Listen to this. Let's listen to it together and see what it's about.
David, Jimmy from Philly, I'm sick and fucking tired of listening to your bullshit about unhinged Trump supporters and this and that. You're so full of shit. I got my hat's off to you. You can't withstand it, David. You got my information, motherfucker. Fuck your cappuccino. Fuck your cappuccino. Fuck your cappuccino. Information. Fuck your cappuccino. You're so full of shit. Fuck your cappuccino.
They want to go out and they want to touch, they want to vote. I'm working my ass off here. I'm soaking wet already. Suppression balls. You can't hold them. I'm soaking wet already. Suppression balls. Now yesterday we had 3 big ones, really big. Suppression balls. Hey, don't give me the umbrella. I'm soaking wet already. But they put numbers, you know, they're called suppression balls. They make you like feel badly. So you say to your wife or you say to your husband, darling, let's go out to dinner and then we'll come back. We love our president. But you know, the polls say he can't win. Well, right now we're leading in almost everywhere. We're leading. Well, I'm soaking wet already. Suppression balls. Red wave. I'm soaking wet already. Suppression balls. Biden even shows as his running mate the most liberal senator in America. Kamala. Senator Kamala Harris. Democrat. Kamala.
If you have a pre-existing condition, heart disease, diabetes, breast cancer, they're coming for you. If you love someone who has a pre-existing condition, they're coming for you. If you are under the age of...
Senator Kamala Harris.
I want to just, first of all, say I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
There is so much about what comes out of Donald Trump's mouth
Don't be rude.
that is designed to distract the American people from what he is doing every day, that is about neglect, negligence, and harm.
You are fake news. Bing, bing, bing. Don't be rude. Don't be rude.
And in the midst of this public health pandemic, we have a Donald Trump. He knew the deal about COVID. He had been informed that it can kill people, that it is 5 times as likely to kill as the flu. He knew it was airborne. He knew it could harm children.
Kamala. Senator Kamala Harris.
If you have a pre-existing condition, heart disease, diabetes, breast cancer, they're coming for you. If you love someone who has a pre-existing condition, they're coming for you. If you are under the age of 26 on your parents' coverage, they're coming for you. If you love someone.
Senator Kamala Harris.
All right. Welcome, everybody. A lot happening today, and we are going to be talking about some of it. We are monitoring a mass shooting at a mall in Boise, Idaho, where, as far as we know right now, 6 people have been injured, including a police officer. We are standing by for more information. Another day in the United States, another mass shooting. Unfortunately, at this point, not very surprising for anybody. We also are going to be looking in detail at this incredible story from Rolling Stone's Hunter Walker. Not hunt. This is not the Hunter stuff they were talking about. This is a different Hunter. It's a reporter who has put together a bunch of different pieces to the puzzle of what happened leading up to January 6th. It's essentially as bad as anything that we could have imagined and suspected. I don't know how else to say it. We're going to listen to some of your voicemails. I don't know about this. I was going to save it for tomorrow, but Dave Rubin, a cultural critic and the last real liberal, Dave Rubin, has interviewed Lauren Boebert, one of the most despicable members of Congress that there is. And she made a variety of different claims during the interview about how I think it was the election wasn't constitutional, or maybe vaccines aren't constitutional. And Dave Rubin nodded along. The last great thinker, I would say, Dave Rubin. She says she's sort of pseudo homeschooling her kids to avoid vaccine requirements. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe what we'll do is if we get to 100 new members and Twitch subs, we'll do open phones. But at 50, we'll do maybe the Dave Rubin stuff. It's something. It really is something. What else did I have for you guys? I have actually a whole bunch of other clips. I've got some mask fiascos. I've got voicemails. No unban requests. I see people asking about unban requests, but I actually don't have any today, so I can close that out. No big deal. Let me say a big thank you as we get going here to Michael Stanley, who just signed up on my website, joinpacman.com. Very much appreciate that, Michael. You are number one in my book today. Pablo Swanson coming in with our first super chat and says, Obama. Yeah, this is I've asked our friend Small Fuzzy Moss to get me the Obama clip because I don't have it for my soundboard, but it's one of my new favorite clips. We found it yesterday during the Squid Chess broadcast. I found it on a random soundboard. Let me see if I can find it again. I think it was... Wait a second. Where was Obama? Here it is. Obama. I don't know why that gets me every time. It's just perfect. Obama. It's reminiscent of Prump, which I do have here on my soundboard.
Then he went, Donald Trump here, Donald Trump. Obama. Then he went, Donald Trump here, Donald Trump.
Exactly. So we're hoping to have that soon for the soundboard. I do want to also say thanks to Dave B. Jen here has gifted 2 subscriptions. Liquid Ice has subscribed via Twitch, and Milo Wild has resubscribed as well. So that's 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. Carry the 3 and take the square root. And we are 6% of the way there. Liquid Ice also has a question. David, what's your favorite type of cheese? And have you had sharp cheddar on apple pie? I am against pie. I'm against, essentially, to the extent that an empanada is a hand pie, I will accept it. But apple pie, cherry pie, blueberry pie, I'm against all of it. The only one that I am open to Obama is I do like a sweet potato pie, I guess, of sorts. But no, pie is not for me. I've had sharp cheddar. And in terms of my favorite type of cheese, I'm going to tell you guys about a cheese here. Let me see here. This is like a great, great, great cheese. This is a classic. This actually may get me canceled only because we could even put it to a vote. Oof, $32 a pound. I would never pay that for it, but I know that this is about to be an extremely pompous moment. This is one of my favorite cheeses right here. This is the Bréberousse d'Argental. It has this orange rind. It is something else. It is something else. What's a half pound go for? Do they increase it? No, they don't increase the price per pound on that. This is a tremendous cheese. A lot of Jasper Hill cheeses are very good, but this is one where it's like, it's such an elitist cheese, but It is really, really good. Sometimes Whole Foods has it. It's a tremendous cheese. I think I just lost 12 members because of that, unfortunately. Dave B did just gift 2 more, though. I appreciate that, putting us at 8. And thank you to Desiree DeLong for signing up at joinpacman.com with today's coupon code Sinks and Showers.
We're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
Also, thanks to Amber Castellano for signing up at joinpacman.com, kicking us right to 10. So here's the deal for today. I have so much to go through, so there's not going to be any kind of dearth of material. But I have said if we get to 50, I'll do the Dave Rubin, Lauren Boebert interview clips. They are really wild. And then if we get to 100, we'll just open phone lines. So many, many different and exciting things going on today. A couple other real quick super chats. Daniel says the David Pakman Correctional Facility. I don't even know what that means. Oh, I guess because I'm wearing my orange shirt. And Josh Cisco says, what do you think about Andrew Yang's forward party? Well, I am not going to prejudge it because Andrew sent me the book. He is scheduled to be on this program. This is a heretofore unannounced interview alert. Okay, hold on. Do I have my alert? Oh, God, where is it? Now I'm, hold on. I had my soundboard. Here it is.
Breaking news!
Wait, that wasn't it. Hold on a second. I had one.
Breaking news!
Okay. I guess I don't have it. Okay, anyway, this has not been this has not been announced previously, but Andrew Yang will be the guest on this program on. Now let's see. I need to figure out when we're airing it. I believe it will be Monday, November 22nd. Andrew Yang will be here, and he will be here to answer questions about the Forward Party, and then we will figure it all out together.
No.
All right. So that is happening. Thanks to the Ohio Answer and Ma Duke for the Twitch subs. Appreciate that, guys, very much. So I'll talk about the Forward Party once I know more about it, and once we have Andrew Yang here to talk about it. Why not? All right, let's get right into this breaking news. This is an incredible story. I've done a condensed sort of analysis of this on the YouTube channel. But let's go. This is just incredible. And I'm not going to give you guys the whole lead up to it because, hold on, why are there ads? I thought I was blocking ads here. Weird. I'm not going to give you the full backstory. You guys know about the riots and you know what we suspected. Okay, here we go. Exclusive. The January 6th protest organizers say they participated in dozens of planning meetings with members of Congress and White House staff. 2 sources are communicating with House investigators and detailed a stunning series of allegations to Rolling Stone, including a promise of a blanket pardon from the Oval Office. This is Hunter Walker. Extraordinary work by Hunter Walker. All right. Whoa, hold on a second. What's going on? Do I have to block ads or open ads to get the whole article? Here we go. Okay, good. Oh, it's not even here. I am not a Rolling Stone subscriber. Oh my God. Let's see. What about an incognito window? Could that help us? Oh my God. Now there's all sorts of things popping up. Dear God. Okay, good. Now we've got it. As the House investigation into the January 6th attack heats up, some of the planners of the pro-Trump rallies that took place in D.C. have begun communicating with congressional investigators and sharing new information about what happened when the former president's supporters stormed the Capitol. 2 of these people have spoken to Rolling Stone extensively in recent weeks and detailed explosive allegations that multiple members of Congress were intimately involved in planning both Trump's efforts to overturn the election loss and the January 6th events that turned violent. So, surprising? No. It's what we suspected all along. But now we have information about it. Rolling Stone separately confirmed a third person involved in the main January 6th riot in D.C. has communicated with the committee. This is the first report that the committee is hearing major new allegations from potential cooperating witnesses. While there have been prior indications that members of Congress were involved, this is also the first account detailing their purported role and its scope. The two sources also claim they interacted with members of Trump's team, including Mark Meadows, who was Trump's chief of staff, who they describe as having had an opportunity to prevent the violence. Okay, it's already crazy, but let's look at the details. Two sources, both of whom have been granted anonymity due to the ongoing investigation, describe participating in, quote, dozens of planning briefings ahead of that day when Trump supporters broke into the Capitol as his election loss to Biden was being certified. Here we go. I remember Marjorie Taylor Greene specifically, the organizer says. I remember talking to probably close to a dozen other members at one point or another, or their staffs. Okay, for the sake of clarity, we're going to call one of our sources rally organizer. This is an explanation. And the other as planner. Both sources were involved in organizing the main event. January 6th, Trump spoke at the rally, encouraged people to go to the Capitol. These two sources also helped plan a series of demonstrations that took place in multiple states around the country. This was very well organized between the election and the storming of the Capitol. According to these sources, multiple people associated with the March for Trump and Stop the Steal events that took place during this period communicated with members of Congress throughout this process. Along with Greene, the conspiratorial pro-Trump Republican from Georgia who took office earlier this year, the pair both say the members who participated or had top staffers join included Paul Gosar, absolute radical lunatic Republican, Lauren Boebert, maybe the dumbest person in Congress, maybe close, maybe the dumbest, Congressman Mo Brooks, Congressman Madison Cawthorn, also up there competing with Lauren Boebert, Congressman Andy Biggs, and Congressman Louis Gohmert, who was a judge, if you can believe it. The organizer says, we would talk to Boebert's team, Cawthorn's team, Gosar's team, like back to back to back to back. Okay. Gosar, this is like, now we've got to start going, Gosar, who has been one of the most prominent defenders of the rioters, allegedly took things a step further. Both sources say he dangled the possibility of a blanket pardon in an unrelated ongoing investigation to encourage them to plan protests. The organizer says, our impression was it was a done deal, the pardon, that he'd spoken to the president about it in the Oval in a meeting about pardons, and that our names came up. They were working on submitting the paperwork and getting members of the House Freedom Caucus to sign on as a show of support. That would probably be against the law from the legal opinions I've read so far. Okay, let's continue. The organizer claims the pair received several assurances about the blanket pardon from Gosar. I was just going over the list of pardons, and we wanted to tell you guys how much we appreciate all the hard work you've been doing, Gosar said, according to the organizer. The rally planner describes the pardon as being offered while encouraging the staging of protests against the election. While the organizer says they did not get involved in planning the rallies solely due to the pardon, they were upset it ultimately did not materialize. I would have done it either way, with or without the pardons, the organizer says. I do truly believe in this country, but to use something like that and put that out on the table when someone is so desperate, it's really not good business. It also may be against the law, and it's certainly immoral. Gosar's office didn't respond to requests for comment. That is not a denial. Gosar's office did not respond to requests for comment. Wow. Rolling Stone has separately obtained documentary evidence that both sources were in contact with Gosar and Boebert on January 6. We are not describing the nature of that evidence to preserve their anonymity. Okay. These specific members of Congress were involved in the pro-Trump activism around the election and the electoral certification on January 6th. Both Brooks and Cawthorn spoke with Trump at the Ellipse on Jan 6. In his speech at that event, Brooks, who was reportedly wearing body armor, that's another thing. Why are you wearing body armor if you're just going to a peaceful event? I mean, does he wear body armor all the time? Very bizarre behavior. In his speech at that event, Brooks declared, "Today is the day American patriots start taking down names and kicking ass." Gozar, Green, and Boebert were all billed as speakers at the wild protest, which took place January 6th. Nick Dyer, Green's comms director, says she was solely involved in objecting to the electoral certification. Sure, of course they would say that now. Spokespeople for the other people have not responded to requests for comment. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene, just as a reminder. Dyer further compared Green's efforts to dispute certification of Biden's victory with objections certain Democrats lodged against Trump's first election. She objected just like Democrats who have objected to Republican victories over the years, just like in 2017 when Jim McGovern et al. Tried to prevent Trump's election win from being certified. Not exactly. They weren't giving people tours of the Capitol right before an attack on the Capitol by those very people. In another indication, members of Congress may have been involved. Ali Alexander, who helped organize the protest, declared in a since-deleted live stream broadcast that Gozar, Brooks, and Biggs helped him formulate the strategy. Alexander said at the time, I remember showing this on a previous live stream, I was the person who came up with the Jan 6 idea with Congressman Gozar, Mo Brooks, and Andy Biggs. Wow. We schemed up on putting maximum pressure on Congress while they were voting so that who we couldn't lobby, we could change the hearts and the minds of Republicans who were in that body, hearing our roar from the outside. Everything about this is bonkers. Alexander also didn't respond to requests for comments. While it was clear members of Congress played some role, the two sources say they can provide new details about the members' specific roles. I have no problem openly testifying. So we're going to continue looking at this. It is really, really insane. And unfortunately, and I know many of you are asking me this question as we are talking about this, it is not clear to me that there will be repercussions. AOC called for the expulsion of the people involved from the House. Now, other people were saying, ma'am, why aren't you calling for them to go to jail? Well, AOC is a legislator, so she can vote to expel them. Law enforcement needs to look at whether crimes were committed. And there is reason to believe that crimes were indeed committed. But will there be consequences? I wish I could say yes. So far, there really haven't been. And we'll see in 2022, there could be electoral repercussions in 2022, but a lot of the people who were involved are running essentially unopposed in safe Republican districts. So, you're probably not going to see repercussions there either. It is absolutely insane. And everything we suspected seems to be true. And an incredible journalistic undertaking by Hunter Walker. Check out the article. We've really hit all the major points, but bonkers stuff. Before we move on to our next element today, I want to say thanks to Jen here for gifting 2 subscriptions on Twitch. Thanks to Nilla Kitty for the sub, Jay Bomber, Troix, and Minister putting us at 18. Also want to say thank you to Ben Hansen Kaplan for signing up on my website, joinpacman.com. Laura Lynch is a new member. And Mark Ashby just signed up on my website using the coupon code Sinks and Showers.
We're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
That puts us at 21. So here's what we've got on the table for today. If we get to, we're like almost at 50. If we get to 50, instead of waiting until tomorrow to do the Dave Rubin, Lauren Boebert interview, which is really out of this world, I'll do it today. So at 50, I'll do the Dave Rubin, Lauren Boebert interview. And then if we get to 100, we'll open phone lines. I've also been asked to get in touch with Stephen Kenneth Destiny Bonnell II. We haven't checked in with him for a while. I don't know if he's streaming, but I would certainly consider checking in with Steven a little bit later if people want and if we actually get through all of the things that we have planned today. A few other super chats I want to look at. My city has had over 20 homicides this year and a drive-by at a church yesterday. This isn't what the Second Amendment is for. Something needs to be done. Agreed. Should Sanders offer lower drug prices or Medicare expansion to Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema? Give me one or the other as a negotiation tactic? I'm not sure. Let me think about that. Mason says, David, do you believe that this is damning evidence and that the Department of Justice will take this article into consideration? God, I hope so. In my opinion, Yang is an enlightened centrist desperate for relevance, and the Forward Party is a selfish attempt to normalize the vile politics of the right. That's a hot take, and I will ask him that question when I interview Andrew Yang on November 22nd. We will be airing that interview. I'm late to the party. What did I miss? Well, I'm not going to go back. You can just scroll back. We have DVR on, very, very strongly on. Okay, let's get to the next thing, which is a really bad situation in Idaho. We've had another mass shooting, and we're standing by for some coverage, as you can see here. There may be a press conference at some point. We're keeping an eye on that. And in fact, if anybody in the audience becomes aware of a press conference related to that shooting, let me know, and I'm glad to go to it. But here's what we know so far. 6 injured at Boise Mall shooting, police say. Boise police said 6 people injured, including a police officer, in a shooting at the Boise Town Square Mall. Police say they're working to notify families of the victims as they clear the mall. 1 person is in custody. Police said officers are working to secure the scene and people are asked to avoid the area. We don't really know too much else. That's the story as of right now. And so we will monitor and see what if anything comes of it as we are standing by. Thanks to Lean Bean and Allie's, who just signed up via Twitch Prime. Allie has a good question. What's your favorite budget cheese for those not part of the elite? Okay, that's a fair question. So earlier I was asked about cheese, and I indicated this is a fantastic cheese right here. This is the Brebberoos d'Argental. Incredible cheese. It's an historic cheese, I would say. There's another one which sometimes is on sale very cheap. I've seen this for $10 a pound before. It is called Taleggio. Okay, Taleggio. This is a very nice cheese and often much less expensive. It's semi-soft, washed rind, smear ripened Italian cheese named after the Val Taleggio. It has a thin crust, strong aroma. Flavor is comparatively mild. Yeah, the thing about Taleggio is the smell is very, very powerful. You could clear a room with this thing, okay? But the taste is much less strong. That's a great cheese. Sometimes you can get it for pretty good deals. Let's see what there is if there's a cheese store. Let's see. Taleggio. This one doesn't seem to sell it. Di Bruno Brothers. Let's take a look. So this is $18 a pound, okay? So it's basically half the price of the Brebberoos d'Argental, and sometimes I've seen it on sale for much, much less. So keep an eye on that. Maybe Trader Joe's even has a Taleggio. I'm not sure. But I would definitely keep an eye on it. Beautiful cheese. Perfect cheese. I don't know. It's a very good cheese. Very, very good cheese. Okay. What cheese do I use for grilled cheese? I don't know. This. I'm not J. Kenji Lopez alt. But for me, I try to do a mix of cheeses. What I'll often do for a grilled cheese is I'll do a mild or sharp cheddar, but then I'll mix it with something else. If you want kind of like a, I don't know, if you want to with a little bit of a kick, you can do pepper jack and cheddar. I like provolone. A lot of people aren't big on provolone. They're like, it doesn't really taste like anything. I think provolone with sharp cheddar is a pretty good idea. Honestly, any cheese you like, you can use it. I mean, I probably wouldn't use like Roquefort or something like that in a grilled cheese. I don't know if it's I don't know that I would do feta from a consistency standpoint, but all right. Anyway, let's move on. I want to say thanks to my brother hates parties, man, as well as Enchanted Leafy Artist for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, numbers 24 and 25. Also, a big thank you to Jonathan Graybeal, who just signed up on my website, joinpacman.com. That puts us at 26. If we get just to 50, we've set an intermediate goal. We will look at the Dave Rubin interview with Lauren Boebert. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we're getting there pretty quick. I want to say thanks to Gianfranco Saraceno for signing up on my website with the coupon code Felony21. Today's special code is sinks and showers.
We're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
But you can really use any coupon code that you want. Okay? All right. Other super chats. For your information, Internet Archive bypasses article paywalls as long as the article has been archived. Very good. Patricker says, I live about 15 minutes away from the Boise Mall. Given the politics around here, I'm confident nothing will change. That may be the case. David Sir, Montemore by Sartori cheese is sublime. Let's take a look at that. Montemore by Sartori. Montemore cheddar. It's a reserve. Okay. Is it cheddar that tastes like Parmesan or Parmesan that tastes like cheddar? Oh, boy. Third place in the 2016 American Cheese Society contest. Wow. All right. I've not heard of that one, but I will keep an eye on it. That is interesting to me. That is very, very interesting to me. Okay. What do you guys want to go to next? Do you want to go with some people losing their minds in public? Or do you want to go to voicemails? What do people want next? We'll do both. We'll do both for sure. But what do people want first? All right. Looks like people are more into some of the clips I've got. All right. Let's go to some clips here. Okay. This California high school teacher says he's willing to fight the vaccine mandate, even if it means losing his job. He only answers to God and his wife, not the government. Sounds pretty edgy. Let's take a look.
I'm willing to fight this mandate for my family and my community. If it means I lose my
Funny because fighting it hurts your community.
job, I'll be able to sleep at night knowing I stood up for freedom, and I'm certain that history will say that I'm on the right side of science as well.
No, that is almost certainly not the case.
I only answer to God, my wife, not the government.
Wow. Now, I want to mention, as I've said before, there's a whole other impetus for among a lot of the people that are promoting the chaos at the school boards. They want a private, they don't want the government involved in education. They don't want public schools. And so even if the individual people protesting aren't even aware that this is something that's going on, there's a whole underbelly of right wingers who love this because it just makes public school seem very chaotic. It might get some parents to say, oh my God, it's so bonkers at school. I'm pulling my kid. We'll go private. I'll homeschool or whatever, which then, depending on how public schools are funded in different districts, weakens the public school further. So you have to understand that that's a big motivating factor for a lot of this. Okay, here is, I don't know, is this Matt Schlapp? I don't actually know what the guy looks like. This might be Matt and Mercy. Is this Matt Schlapp's daughter, Mercy? Because I know it's Matt and Mercedes Schlapp. Is Mercy, is this the wife, the daughter? I have no idea. Anyway, check out this crowd, how they go completely nuts when Trump calls into their event. This is a cult, an undeniable cult.
We have a special guest with us today who wants to say a few words.
All right, sir, you're ready.
Oh, hold on. Sir.
Sir, your wife is up in the air.
Okay.
Well, I just want to thank everybody.
Wow. These are really special people, huh? Let's watch it once more.
We have a special guest with us today who wants to say a few words.
All right, sir, you're ready.
Mr. President, sir, how are you?
Well, I just want to thank everybody.
Completely insane. Completely and totally off the wall bonkers. All right, so we got that. This is really good. This is a really nicely edited video. I saw this earlier. I wanted to bring it to you fine folks.
At the Hardy and Jason Aldean concert.
Well, that sounds fun. I mean, I don't know who those people are, but that sounds great.
That we paid $150 per ticket and paid $500 for a suite.
Woo! Spending some money. It sounds great. Have a wonderful time.
We get here and we cannot get in without a Vax card or a test, which they're going to charge $40 a piece for.
Oh, fantastic. That sounds wonderful. You know, you got to have safety protocols in place, got to keep the community safe. I love it.
But we do not agree with this.
What do you mean you don't agree with this? Of course you agree with this. See, right here. Before you can even go to buy the tickets, you get the health check that's required, where it very clearly states that, you know, you'll have a negative COVID test within 72 hours of the event, or, you know, show a vaccine card, or, you know, get a test there. And then you agreed to it. You had to have, otherwise you couldn't even have bought the ticket. See, right here. Boop, I agree. Dude, right there, you pushed that, and then you agreed. So is it that you don't remember, or you don't think that it applies to you because...
This is America.
Ah, there it is. Yes, this is America. This is a country where private companies can require certain things of their patrons. And that patron can either agree to those guidelines or not participate or patronize that business. Much like wearing a shirt or shoes in order to go to a restaurant. You have to agree to those things or you cannot come in. More or less, all businesses do it. America. So was it that you just thought that it wouldn't apply to you because...
America.
Oh, sorry. She scared me. Oof, like a little goblin. Yes, this is America, where the rules apply to, yes, even you. And what is it that so many people often say, people a lot like you? Ah, yes, I remember. If you don't like it, you can leave. Oh my God, that felt so good.
Okay. Anyway, so here, this is just, now there was another one. Oh man, there was another similar video of someone who had there's no way they would even be there had they not agreed, where they were then kicked out for no vaccine, but I don't remember now. Let me see if I can find it. Kicked out vaccine. Let me see if I can find it. A black family kicked out by a white man in a restaurant for failing to show proof of vaccine. What's that? Is that, I mean, is the race of the people relevant in this one? Let's see.
So you're refusing to serve us? Are you refusing to serve us? So you're going to enforce segregation because we just told you that we're religiously exempt. I never told you any of that. I would never tell you that. I would never say that. I would never say that.
It's a little bit, You're sort of baiting when, I don't know anything about this, but it's like if you go in and accuse a place of segregation and you're black and the person telling you got to be vaccinated is white, you're kind of baiting in a way, right? I mean, I don't know. It's.
You don't have to leave. If you have the flyer, that you're supposed to put into your window, right? Okay, go and read it. And you tell me we're not leaving. Well, I'm not.
Also, are they being segregated by religion, by race, or vaccination status? Because he's claiming a religious exemption.
You guys can leave. I'm not leaving.
Yeah, I mean, like, is the guy, I'm saying, here it says a black family. I don't know. I'm not assessing the guy's race.
We just marched for this. Everybody in here is okay with that? Everybody's in here okay with setting segregation in society? Everybody's okay with that? Oh, we don't have our vaccine cards, so now the kids can't eat. We can't eat. You guys are okay with that? This is the America you want to...
A little bit hyperbolic to say they can't eat. I mean, if they're in the restaurant, presumably they have money for food. You don't need a vaccine card to go to the grocery store.
Is this the America you want to live in? No, fuck you. You see? You're not American. That's why you need to get the fuck out of here if you're not American. All right? Get the fuck out of here.
The kids are learning a very important lesson here. I don't know what it is, but it's clear that there's an important lesson being learned.
Okay? This is America, and in America, everybody can eat. Everybody can eat in America. All right? This is not segregation. This is America. You need to wake up. This is the kind of country you want to live in? You want to live in this
I like this guy. Is this guy surreptitiously filming? Like he's kind of acting like he's not, but he seems to very clearly be filming.
type of country? Everybody's okay with this?
And they didn't have other people for their vaccine. Good for you, but some people over here were not.
No, that's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the point. I told you that we're religiously exempt. If you read the poster that you posted on your thing from the city, it says you cannot discriminate, okay? Read the poster. It says it on there.
All right, I'm guessing they didn't come to any kind of agreement. Let me see if I can find the video I was actually looking for. Wasn't these people being kicked out for no vaccine? No. Man, I wish I remembered exactly what it was. This is the same one we just saw. Man kicked out of mass vaccination center for asking about ingredients. Okay. Senior kicked out of a McDonald's after not being able to provide proof of vaccination. Jeez. All right. Yeah, I think unless I remember more about the specifics, I'm not going to be able to find it like this. Okay. All right. Well, listen, if I come across it, if I find it, I will let everybody know about it. Thanks to One's Comp and Major Blazer, as well as Outlaw Cecil, Owen Rock, and C Missile for re-upping Twitch Prime subscriptions, putting us at 32. Also, a huge thank you to Rosemary Snedden, who just signed up on my website with the coupon code Felony21. Rafael Suarez, who just signed up on my website with the coupon code Sinks and Showers.
We're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
And DJ Douglas, who signed up on the website with the coupon code Better21. That puts us at 35. We're very close. At 50, we are doing the Dave Rubin, Lauren Boebert clips, and they're wild. It's really something else. Let me get to a few super chats, then I'm going to do some voicemails, and then we'll see where we are. David, Texas passed a new redistricted map, and it's crazily gerrymandered. Yeah, we talked about it. David, I was in Montreal 2 weeks ago, and proof of vaccine was omnipresent. No loud pushback anywhere. It was so refreshing. Yeah, some of my family was recently in Montreal. They said it was pretty solid. Okay, we're standing by for a press conference on the shooting in Boise. Okay, so we've got that coming up. What justice will there be for the traitors? Unfortunately, I'm worried there will be none. I assume you're referring to the now increasingly specific allegations that the January 6th protest organizers coordinated with members of Congress and even White House staff. I worry there will be no consequences. That's my concern. David, do restaurants not have the right to refuse service? Yeah, they do. They do. They don't have the right to refuse service on the basis of race or religion, though. So when the guy says, I'm religiously exempt from the vaccine, the idea is if you kick them out, you're now refusing service on the basis of religion, which would be against the law. So that's why the guy seems to know that. And he's deliberately muddying the waters, I guess is the way I would say it. Okay, let's do a few voicemails. After as we await the start of this press conference. Of course, hold on here. Oh, wait, new caller. I'm going to play this one. It goes the full 3 minutes and it seems a little rambly, but let's try it.
Hey, David. Just wanted to ask you a quick question. Like, I definitely hear, you play voicemails of people who support what you do as well as go against some of the things that you say, like the anti-vaxxers and things of that nature. So I was just curious to know if you actually, other than playing what they say or what voicemails they leave for you and then, play it on your show, do you actually reach back out to those people and respond to them to see if there is any way that you can possibly...
No, I'm not then. If the question is, do I call the people who leave me voicemails off air? The answer is no. I'm not doing that. Okay. Whitney has something to say.
Hi, David. So I started dating a guy from Ukraine. He's like a Jewish guy.
Nice.
He was like talking about the coronavirus, about how like the vaccine, sometimes like he was hearing rumors about it. What is it called? Like sterilizing men.
All right. Thank you, Whitney. Let's move on.
Hi, David. This is a response to your video on Steve Bannon. I definitely think they are trying to ramp up another attack. Not only is it their best interest to ramp up for another attack for Steve Bannon to get more clicks, I think by attacking again, you basically protect the people who attacked before because you swamped the justice system. Basically.
All right. Whitney's back.
So I studied anatomy in art school, and one of the things that like I look at sometimes are like cultural differences between people and like the shapes of their head and faces and stuff like that.
Okay, dabbling in a little phrenology. Very good.
David, what's going on, man? It's Zach again from Tennessee. Second time caller now. No big deal. Anyways, I'm watching your video on Mike Lindell again and his bullshit that he likes to talk about. But anyways, my question is biometric voting.
Yes.
I mean, both parties should be screaming for it from the heavens. I mean, if they really want the country to be better. What advantage is not going to biometric voting?
Okay. Yeah.
So I wanted to respond to like the Afghanistan wars because I was watching some of your old videos and I saw that they were like selling heroin to people over.
Hello. I just don't know what to say.
All right. Very good.
Now that the vaccines are widely available, I have no obligation to wear a mask anywhere. Period. That's the way the real world works. Not the world of shadows you idiot liberals live in.
Okay. Thank you.
So I was wondering what your opinion of like celebrities are like in regards to like the social aspect or like I don't want to say culture because I don't really find it like cultural. But like
Okay, it would be great if we could hear this press conference.
Can't see off screen that I've been talking to about this spice. We want to turn to Emmy Award-winning talk show host Tamron Hall.
Why aren't we able to hear that? I'm trying to hear that Anybody know where that, because we're trying to hear oh, hold on. Here we go.
Incident. We are working to notify the families of any 1, 2. People were killed in this event.
God.
We're still working with both the hospitals as well as our investigators to notify family. We would ask that the community at large keep their families of the deceased in their thoughts, and that they also
people have died
of any of the immediately affected in the community.
Oh no.
At a very high level overview, at around 1:50 this afternoon, officers responded to reports of shots being fired at the Boise Mall, with reports that at least one person was shot and down.
Wow.
Shortly after responding on scene, officers encountered an individual matching the suspect's description, and there was a exchange of gunfire that ensued shortly thereafter, resulting in the officer's injury, as well as the suspect being taken into custody. At this time, the majority of the mall has been cleared. We are still actively clearing the mall to both look for any additional concerns and any additional victims. But at this time, we believe that there was only a single shooter involved and that there is no ongoing threat or danger to the community at large from this incident. Again, this is an ongoing investigation as well as a tactical incident. We really cannot at this time speak to any motivation behind it or anything else that may impact the investigation. It would be entirely too premature to make any of those assumptions. I recognize that the community is going to have many questions as well as concern. The Boise Police Department will work to make sure that we get that information out to the community as quickly as possible in conjunction with both our investigators and our prosecutors. Because this involves an officer-involved shooting, the Critical Incident Task Force for Ada County has been activated. They will be leading the investigation into the officer-involved shooting portion of this. The other events that occurred inside and outside the mall will be conducted as an investigation by the Boise Police Department. Again, we will share further information as soon as we can, but our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of those affected, as well as to the concern for the community. With that, I'd like to turn the microphone over to our mayor, Laura McClain. Hi, Mayor.
So it appears someone was killed. He said deceased.
Hello. I first want to speak to the families of those who were hurt today. Never should one have to, or does one expect, when they're saying goodbye to their loved one who's headed to work, who's headed out to shop, and that they'll get a call like they did today. Countless people found themselves in a situation they never would have nor should have expected. I want to thank the shopkeepers, the people in the mall that reacted so quickly to take care of folks that were there. You showed in a tough and chaotic moment how much you care and what you're willing to do to support and care for strangers. I also want to thank the Boise Police Department and first responders. You came quickly. You showed compassion to so many people that were scared at a really tough moment. And you did everything you could to keep people safe. And on that, I want to reiterate what the chief has said. People still in the mall are safe. People in Boise are safe. Your safety is our priority. As we think about those that were hurt today, my heart goes out to those who sheltered in place, those who saw this crime, those who weren't sure if they'd see a loved one again, or who knew that they had someone they cared about in the mall. I am deeply, deeply sorry for the pain and trauma that you've experienced. No one should have to experience that pain and trauma, and particularly those whose family members are lost today. I am so sorry. I'm going to ask Boise and ask all of the media to please respect the families, the privacy of the families who were impacted today, to acknowledge the trauma that they are experiencing and will experience, to direct all questions through the police department, and to know that we will share as much as we can, when we can, as soon as we can, because this investigation is ongoing. And finally, I'm just going to ask once more that we respect the privacy of these residents, our neighbors, our friends and neighbors who were hurt today, and that we think about all that we can do to lift them up in the coming hours, days, and weeks, to show that this community cares about them, that we will respect their privacy, that we'll do everything we can to keep everyone safe. Thank you very much.
Chief, I'm sorry, just to double check, I know you're not taking questions, but to be clear on the numbers, 6 injured, 1 police officer injured, and 2 dead, correct?
At this time, the total number injured in it that we know of at this time is 6. That would include an injured officer as well as 2 individuals who were killed.
Oh.
So, I make a distinction between these, someone who's died and someone who's injured. You have basically
2 deceased, 4 others injured, including an officer,
Okay.
as well as additional people that we are processing to make sure they are
And
not
suspect in
injured. So that's the
custody.
number that we know of at this time.
And the suspect give up.
The suspect is in custody.
Can you tell us how?
I'm not answering any questions at this time because of the investigation.
Do you know the status of the other 4 injured?
Again, because of the ongoing nature of the investigation, we're not fielding questions. Thank you very much.
All right, so what was initially reported as a mass shooting in which 6 people were injured, including an officer, it's actually 2 people were killed, and then an additional 4 were injured, including an officer. So that's the latest we have right now. And it happened again, right? I mean, another shooting, and many people's reaction is there's just no way to prevent this. People from the only country where this regularly happens say there's just no way. You can't prevent it. There's no way to prevent it, which just doesn't really square for me. Doesn't really make sense. A few other super chats coming in. David, what religion makes a person exempt from vaccination? I'm not actually aware of any. I think what it is when people say they have a religious exemption is like their specific wacky pastor is like, don't get it. But I'm not sure that I know of any religion that just flat out says do not get vaccinated. If other people do, then let me know. Maybe Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah, maybe Jehovah's Witnesses. But I'm not even sure. I think, in fact, actually, no, hold on a second. I think I got an email from a Jehovah's Witness not long ago. Who might have said they do get vaccinated. Okay, I'm not finding it. That even there, I want to be careful because that may not even be true. Ethan asks whether I'm going to take calls. Well, that's up to you, Ethan. Here's what we have. If we get to 50 today in members and Twitch, we'll look at the Dave Rubin, Lauren Boebert clips. If we get to 100, we'll open phone lines. We're actually getting very close. Kino Hermes has just resubscribed on Twitch. That's putting us at number 36. We then have to add to that Ross McNamee, who just signed up on my website with the coupon code Sinks and Showers.
We're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
Richard Fikowski just signed up on my website. And Sarah Torres also signed up on my website. That puts us at 39. So we're only 11 away from doing the Dave Rubin, Lauren Boebert clips. And everything counts. Resubs on Twitch. The Font Peg just signed up via Twitch, and then Jay Tandaway gifted 5. So that already gets us to 45. Hate to Lose It gave out another 5. So that puts us, we're at 50. All right. Okay, good. So we did that. Let me start getting the Lauren Boebert clips together because we did it. Okay, we did it, folks. Here's the first one. This is just vile stuff. And what's interesting about this interview is, remember, Dave Rubin was supposedly like the last real liberal. He's a thinker. He's a cultural critic. He's an analyst. But now Dave Rubin voted Trump and is nodding along to what Lauren Boebert says, one of the most radical members of Congress, complete lunatic right-winger. So let's go to clip number 1 of 4.
I just pulled my kids out of public school because they brought back mask mandates. And
Whoa.
They're not letting up on it. And I said, okay, well, we're doing something else because I'm not subjecting my children to this again. And so we're pulling them out and doing something on our own. But
Are you homeschooling now?
it'll be a hybrid version of homeschooling.
Are you homeschooling now? As if it would be perfectly logical to put your kids in homeschooling because they need masks, which is shown to reduce transmission. It's crazy. You're homeschooling now, right? All right, clip number 2. Here we go.
Keep us so divided and so separate. And previous members of Congress who have been there previously, they'll tell you it's never been this way. There was always communication between Republicans and Democrats, and now it is so divided. And that's by design. She wants to keep us separate. She wants the House chambers empty.
You're talking about Nancy.
Nancy Pelosi, yes.
Right. Oh, yeah. His contributions like actively are just making it clear that he's fully off the deep end.
And she truly believes this is Pelosi's house, not the...
Do you guys think Lauren Boebert is Whitney, the regular caller? Is that possible? Now I'm actually thinking it's possible. All right, so that's clip number 2. She says Nancy Pelosi wants the house empty. Why would she want the house empty? Not clear. But Dave Rubin's like, you're talking about Nancy, right? Nancy Pelosi. Oh, yeah. Clip number 3. Oh, hold on a sec.
Nancy Pelosi has called me the enemy within. We have metal detectors outside of the House chambers because of me. And so it seems.
Whoa, that's really funny. Wow. You are such a danger and you refuse to just follow rules to the point where they maybe have been forced to put metal detectors at the door. What a thing to be proud of. I made it so that they needed to escalate security at my place of work. When your place of work puts in place security measures to protect other coworkers from you, it's not exactly something to be proud of. Okay, and then now clip number 4, and this one's wild.
I objected to the Electoral College results because the Constitution was violated. And that's our biggest threat right now, is the complete disregard of the Constitution.
Now, a real question to ask here would be, Lauren, now I know this is a crazy question to come up with. You'd have to really be thinking, Lauren, in what ways was the Constitution violated? That's the full question. That's it. That's the full question. And then you see what happens. Oh, there's more. Let me see if I can find more of it. Dave Rubin, Boebert. Let's see if I can find other clips. Oh, full interview. Oh, let's check this out, actually.
To state government for help. I've stood in line for government cheese. I've stood in line for bread. And I knew at 11 years old that was not America's best, that there was more for us. We didn't live that way in Florida. We didn't have to pay with monopoly money for groceries in the grocery store. And that's what we were doing in Colorado. My stepdad, he ended up getting work in Aspen when I was about 12, and we moved to the western slope of Colorado, and that really was the best thing that could have ever happened to us. We moved into a community that wasn't just telling us where to get.
Yeah, I don't know why it starts like this with no introduction. Oh, I guess then they go to an introduction.
A hand out, but they were offering a hand up.
Oh.
All right, I'm Dave Rubin, and we are live in studio today with the Congresswoman from Colorado's 3rd District, Lauren Boebert. Welcome to the Rubin Report.
Thanks so much for having me on, Dave. This is fantastic to actually be in person with someone talking face to face. Imagine that.
Face to face. We've got what, about 4 feet between us? Are we in any sort of legal trouble? Could this get you kicked out of Congress?
Listen, even bringing guns doesn't seem to even participating in the planning of the January 6th riot doesn't seem to get you kicked out.
According to political science, we are in deep trouble right now.
What about regular science? I know political science, we're in a lot of trouble.
I think we're okay with regular science.
All right, we got you all the way out to crazy California.
Yes.
You're here for a couple days.
Yes.
How do you feel in California? You come from the, I would say, relatively free state of Colorado, or the once really free state?
Once
sort
really
of
free.
hanging on
Mhm.
free state?
Yes, we are hanging on. I do believe that there are more conservatives in Colorado than the average person would know. We are slowly turning into California, and really, it's been quicker than any of us would have liked to have seen. But we have a governor from California who wants to mimic everything that's happened here. There's been
It's biomimicry.
documentaries that have gone out, the Rocky Mountain Heist. There's a book, the Colorado Blueprint, and they were kind of sounding the alarms of what was happening, and that Colorado was really a petri dish for all of these liberal policies that Democrats want to take nationwide. And if they can do it in Colorado, they can do it anywhere successfully. And so that's what we're seeing. And we didn't have any voices in Colorado. So I'm really happy to be that loud voice in Colorado right now to let everyone know what's happening to us there.
Yeah, and I've done a couple events in Colorado over the last couple of years, although unfortunately none in the last.
I'm feeling, secondhand. I saw that. Secondhand embarrassment. I'm feeling embarrassed for both of these people.
Year and a half. But when I was on tour with Jordan Peterson, I went, and a few other things.
It was a
and
tour.
what I noticed when I talked to a lot of people was, Dave, could you make sure all the California people stop coming here?
Yes.
Are you still hearing a lot about that?
Yes, we still have Californians coming, and these political refugees are bringing their bad policies with them. And so, I mean, that's really devastating to our communities because we like our rural way of life. And
Did you guys hear that? It sounded like something just happened in the background there.
we don't want that that urban
My
lifestyle.
dog
Hey,
has
buddy.
decided to-
Oh, it's a dog.
Hi. I have dogs. I have goats. That brings
We're not
me so much
editing
joy.
this out, but Clyde does have to leave.
So sweet.
Clyde, Clyde just opened the door.
Oh, hello.
Congresswoman.
Hello.
He's attacking the
You love me.
Congresswoman. We could be in trouble here. Well, we have the outtake for the show. Clyde, you got to go now.
Hi.
Guys, do we have a
So
treat
happy.
or
Sorry.
What a relatable moment, guys.
That brings me a lot of joy.
Yeah.
I love animals. I have four
We
boys.
don't
so
edit
it's,
here, so-
Yes.
I have 4 boys, so I love animals. Okay.
Wild.
Yeah, so people are constantly opening the door and
Yes.
breaking into your interviews and things.
It's
Sorry, you were
natural,
saying.
I don't know where we were, but with everything that's where were we?
Well, we were talking about the Californians coming.
Yes.
Is Ruben out of focus slightly? I'm actually unclear. He seems slightly out of focus to me. It's weird.
And they're bringing their
Yeah.
bad policies with them. And so there really is an urban and rural divide. And we want to keep rural Colorado rural. But unfortunately, in these high mountain ski resort towns that I represent, a lot of Californians can afford to move there. And they're bringing the same policies that they're fleeing from.
Listen, all the money these Californians are bringing when they go to Aspen, we've really got to stop it right away.
So I asked this to every conservative or Republican official that I talked to, like, when the people come, do you think they have no idea that they voted for those policies, that they're now fleeing, and realize that maybe they should think about things a little bit
Aren't they going for vacation? What does he mean, fleeing?
differently now?
No, I mean, because their actions would prove that.
Yeah.
They think they can flee from their problems, and unfortunately, there is a lower class of people who cannot afford to flee those bad policies that they have voted in and implemented, and so they
Something about how she says lower class sounds pejorative.
get to leave, pack up, and go to somewhere with lower taxes and better opportunities and still have a beautiful scenic view. But there is another class that's left behind that cannot afford to make that same move.
Congresswoman, you've now been directly tied to the insurrection. Do you think you will ever actually face consequences for your complete abortive attack on the pillars of democracy of this country?
And they are the ones who are stuck in.
Well, Dave, that's really funny you ask that. You know, when in Colorado, people from California show up, it's really not good.
In that terrible economy and a horrible state where they are left now to depend on the government to help.
It's funny how this entire California attack, it's like California has one of the most dynamic economies in the world. If California were a country, it would be growing as quickly as some developing countries that are experiencing rapid growth. And it's a state that's been around for a long time. I don't know what year California became a state in. Do they have a homelessness problem? Yes, they do. But we have a country that How many industries are overwhelmingly based in California? I mean, this entire attack California thing is crazy.
In their situations or even in these failing economies where taxes are just too high to afford the homes that they want to live in. So, I mean, it's really impacts them more than anything. And then they come to these other states and bring those same policies. So I wouldn't think that they knew what impact they are having on these communities.
Yeah, the idea that they're leaving the people who can't afford to move is sort of
Yes.
interesting, too. You know, I realized this morning when I was thinking about how I wanted to do this interview that, you know,
It was a really bad idea, but unfortunately it was too late. And I'm a right winger now, so I said, let her come in, but send the dog in to make it all funny.
if you take sort of the new crop of Congress people and you think about mostly the Democrats.
Is it possible that that's a green screen? It almost looks like something is weird about this shot. Does anybody agree with me that there's something's weird about this? It almost looks like a green screen and Rubin is lit completely differently. Like, do these shadows even make sense? I don't even know. Something's strange here. I don't know. Nothing wrong with using a green screen. I use one when I travel. Just everything about this is strange.
Outside, we all know everything about AOC.
No, I guess that's real, right? Is it? It's a real. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it.
See, we know everything about Ilhan Omar, probably too much, more than we want to know. We know everything about Ayanna Pressley and the rest of the crew, but we don't actually know that much from a national perspective about you. And it's like, it seems like people should be talking about you just as much, but that's not really how the media operates because you're a scary conservative.
No, it's because she's an idiot and she doesn't know anything. Let's skip ahead and just see a little of something else. We're not going to do all of this, obviously.
Up to that. Certainly, I don't think that this is a president that obtained 81 million votes. You know, I think he would have a little bit of confidence in his base to at least answer questions. If this was such a popular president, but I mean that's neither here nor there. But
actually, if she doesn't think Biden really got the votes he reportedly got, it is a big deal. That's a big deal. That's crazy.
I objected to the Electoral College results because the Constitution was violated. And that's our biggest threat right now, is the complete disregard of the Constitution of the United States. You know, you could go and try to find votes in Arizona, votes in Georgia, whatever. Hundreds of thousands of votes, ballots were mailed out right in our faces against state constitutions and the federal Constitution.
Meaning because we changed procedures because of COVID, basically.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's not unconstitutional.
Yeah.
Because the state
Rubin likes it, but that's not unconstitutional.
Legislature has the right to change election laws. And in 6 states in particular, it was not the state legislatures that did that. No legislator passed a law like that. We had rogue judges, attorneys generals, secretaries of states, and unelected bureaucrats changing election laws. And so, I mean, that's the big, that's what everyone's missing, right?
Dave, come on.
There. That is why me and 146 other Republicans objected.
That's why I and other Republicans objected. Please, Lauren.
In January. And then this has just been spun out of control, and we got to find 10,000 ballots, and we got to find 20,000 ballots. No, hundreds of thousands were mailed out illegally right in front of your faces.
It was against the Constitutions.
What percentage of your constituents do you think care?
Fall for this shit.
About this? Because I can tell you after this California recall that obviously didn't go the way that I wanted to.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Before and after, almost everybody that I spoke to, and I campaigned with Larry Elder, almost everyone that I spoke to, it might literally be everyone I spoke to during the campaign, said, Dave, do you trust what's going to happen with the results? Which
that one was fake too, guys. That was a fraudulent election too.
They're already, that's their way of saying, I don't trust what's going to happen with the results. So now we've got like this almost parasite in the system now of belief or lack of belief.
Yes. And that is very concerning because
it's funny. They act like the fact that the right doesn't trust elections is evidence that the elections can't be trusted. When in reality, the fact that the right doesn't trust elections is a reaction to the story that Donald Trump told where he said 2016 couldn't be trusted even though he won electorally. And in advance, he said you weren't going to be able to trust 2020. And it became a meme. The fact that they've fallen for you can't trust the results, they're saying clearly you can't trust them because we don't. It's like, no, that's specious reasoning, Dave.
Because I would say high 90s, high 90% of the folks that follow me and are voting don't have trust in our election.
Anyway, I think that's enough. But when the average kind of like Trumpy, whatever watches this, who do you think they see as more of the thinker, Dave Rubin or Lauren Boebert, when they watch an interview like this? What do people think? Like, who do they see as the intellectual heavyweight here? Rubin's dog. Yeah, that's probably true. That's not wrong.
Throw him the hell out of here.
The camera tech who came in. Yeah. Okay. All right. Very, very good. Very good. Okay. I'm falling behind on a variety of thank yous. Let me get caught up here. Thank you to the following people. Let's see how close we get to 100. Texas Bear Claw, Toca Tacos, Chef Melville, Bethany Folks, R. Tyler E., and Matthew Rummins have all re-upped or created new Twitch Prime subscriptions, putting us at 56. And over on the website, nothing happening over on the website. Okay, if we get to 100 and let me see, hold on. We're at 56 out of 100. What percent is that? That's 5. We're 56% of the way to where we need to be. And the coupon code Sinks and Showers saves you 69%.
We're looking very strongly at sinks and showers. Obama.
That is the best. All right. Let's see if we can quickly talk to Stephen Kenneth Destiny Bennell II. I'm going to check in with him via Discord and see if he wants to catch up real quick. Let's see. Hey, are you streaming? Long time. Want to connect and catch up. Let's see if Steven is streaming. He's playing League right now. Oh, okay. So we may not be able to do it then. That's too bad. I mean, I don't even know what that means, but. Yeah, I don't know. My audience goes back and forth between liking and not liking Steven. So I honestly, I have no idea. Thanks to Elias, His Highness, for grabbing a Twitch Prime subscription. You're number 57 today, which is a tremendous number. I think a couple people may be about to grab website memberships, in which case I will absolutely thank them. Oh, hold on. Destiny's here. Hold on. Let's see if we can get on with Steven.
Hi, what's up?
Hey, Steven.
How you doing?
How are you?
Doing great.
What's I heard that you were moving out of California. Is that true?
Yeah, I think I'm going to Florida.
Okay. What's the reason for that?
I've got other friends in Florida. Cheaper cost of living. Like, why not?
Oh, okay. Are you going to the one place in Florida that makes sense or elsewhere?
Is the one place in Florida that makes sense Miami or?
Well, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's where I'm going.
That's where you're going. Okay. Nice. And are you thinking of bringing back like doing a streamer house there or something?
Fuck no.
Oh,
Why
okay.
would I ever want to live with degenerate fucking streamers?
I might partner up with you on that. I would do a streamer house with you, and if it was on Miami Beach, maybe, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm moving to Miami Beach, so we'll see. Okay.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll be in touch. How are you saying how soon you're leaving?
Probably within a month.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
find other
Okay.
people to live in the house, though. You know, I don't want to have I don't want to have the Gusano to normal population be too high. You know, and with both.
Sorry. That was the Gusano what? Tum Rumble?
The Gusano to normal person population. I can't have that
Oh.
too high, so we'll have to find a bunch of other safe people to move in. You know.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Have you weighed in on Hassan's computer?
I mean, it's just a meme computer. There's not much to say, right?
Yeah, I don't even know what's interesting about it. Is it just that it's just a mimetic computer? That's it.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What are you using these days anyway? You're a PC guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I feel like I'm just completely out. Were you in Europe for a while?
Yeah, I was in Europe for like a month and a half, Netherlands and then Sweden, and then now I'm in America. And then I went to Omaha, Nebraska for a couple days. Went to New York. Now I'm back in California. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, I'm gonna be out in California soon. It's gonna be quite a scene. But I think you'll be gone, unfortunately.
Like living there or just?
No. Visiting.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Where you headed?
I'm gonna be all over. I'm gonna be in San Diego. I'm gonna be in LA.
So you're not gonna be all over. You're gonna be in Southern California.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All over in that small 2-hour driving radius.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, all over that particular area.
Okay.
Yep. And I mean, maybe me, you, and Hassan could go out to dinner again if you're still there.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't know if his security will let me into his neighborhood, but we'll see.
Okay, yeah. Well, we could certainly talk about that. What's been up with, like, what are you streaming mostly these days?
You know, I want to just get into video games full time because all the political discourse online and even in the real world is like just absolute fucking cancer. So it's just like watching it all unfold is just so disgusting. So I don't know.
Are you genuinely thinking of doing that?
I don't know. Talking about politics online is really sad and pathetic. Like most of the commentators are like brain dead, like knuckle dragging dipshits. And to watch like anybody, all of the conversations are just so horrible. There's so much. I think they're worse than they were 5 years ago. And then just like watching the cycles of like stuff becoming popular and not popular, and just where we are, like with all the discourse is just so disgusting. I don't know. What
do you think is like the worst trendy thing in political talk right now?
The worst trendy thing, it's definitely like the fuck the rich for everything is just so cancerous. It doesn't get us anywhere. It doesn't move us in a better direction. On tax policy, it doesn't get us in a better place socially. It doesn't move any of the conversations along in a productive way. It's all just like a bunch of like middle class white suburban kids that live in gated communities virtue signaling to other white suburban kids living in gated communities on Twitter about how like hard it is being poor in the US and how evil billionaires are, even though their mom and dads are probably like top 1% earners like on their own. Like it's so annoying and stupid.
What is a gated community anyway?
Like you live in a place where in order to drive in, you've got to like, there's a guy at the gate that lets people in. Like you have to either talk to a dude or you get rung in or you have to like dial a code or whatever. Right?
Okay. So you're literally saying you're not using it as a euphemism, even just for like rich neighborhoods. You're saying specifically real gated communities.
Like actual gated communities. Yes. Yeah. Like the only black people these people have ever seen in their lives are like on the wire or something. Yes. Like those types of gated communities.
Oh, man. That seems like maybe a bit of a straw man in terms of the actual problems with the discourse, though. It seems like a bit of an identity attack, and I think it's
right now
preposterous.
The identities on Twitter are so overwhelmingly white, college-educated, and middle class.
Yeah.
Like you see this pop up like over and over and over again. And you had a huge problem during the discourse in the last presidential election cycle with the Democrats just missing their marks because one, they treat every brown person in the U.S. like the same person, which is fucking stupid, right? So you've got these dumb white kids talking about how awesome socialism is to people that fled like Venezuela, which doesn't look good. And then you've got people pretending that like, oh yeah, black people and Hispanic people hate cops too, right? Running around like the ACAB shit, which also didn't play well. So like the online discourse has managed to, I thought that there was like a huge difference between like online discourse versus real life discourse. And there is, but the problem is that all the real life shit is starting to move online. So it's managed to like toxify like the real life political conversations because those people are all becoming more online as well.
Yeah, I think one where I agree with you on this is like there's this entire movement now. I even bookmarked a couple of these articles to be able to refer to them. Like for example, hold on, let me see if I find them here. I'm not actually finding an example, but basically stuff about like, here's 10 techniques for your morning routine to prevent burnout. And it's like, you know, the people who really need that aren't able to have a 10-step morning routine because they're busy like working 2 jobs or whatever the case may be. I think it's a sort of similar dynamic to what you're kind of getting at.
Yeah, maybe it depends. Yeah. I find that like a lot of, usually when people talk about like poor struggles in the United States, it's pretty overwhelmingly obvious that they don't know what they're talking about. So like, for instance, and I'm going to trigger the fuck out of a lot of like fake white kids in your chat. I'm sorry to do this, but like anytime people talk about like, oh yeah, like being homeless or being poor in America is so hard, like going to bed, like starving every night. Like, poor working people in America aren't starving to death. Okay, this doesn't happen. You have no idea like what the poor experience is like. You watch like a movie about like fucking Uganda, and you're assuming that like poor people in the United States, like it's a total disconnect from the lived experiences, or why being poor sucks, or like why these issues are issues, or what it's like living in these circumstances. But they want to like speak for all of these poor and oppressed people anyways because they have nothing else going on in their lives.
But wait a second, you don't deny that there is food insecurity in the United States. You're just saying there's not. It's not abject poverty in the same way.
Wait. Do you know what food insecurity means? Nobody actually knows what this term means. You can go and look it up. I think it's the USDA that defines it. Food insecurity can mean as much as like fuck, I have to go back and look at it. But when people hear food insecurity, they assume that food insecurity means that you're not eating. That's not true. Food insecurity might just mean that you're not getting like a well-balanced mix of vitamins and minerals. Like your micronutrients aren't like in check. That's what food insecurity can mean. And you can go, the definition is public. You can look it up on the USDA website.
I'm looking at it. Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. I'm looking at it right now. It says it's a lack of consistent access to enough food for an active, healthy lifestyle. So it seems to just be talking about calories. It doesn't seem to be saying.
Absolutely not. I'll bet my life on it. We can.
Well, I mean, we have it up on the screen, but I mean, no.
I mean, like, if you can literally, if you work in any poor place, you'll know this. If you look at any homeless people, you know this. Like, homeless people in America and poor working people in America aren't all like skinny and starving.
No, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
All of them are fat as fuck.
Well, no. That's not true. That's not true.
That is absolutely true. If you've
all homeless people are fat, that's crazy. What are you talking about?
People, but a lot of working poor are fat as fuck. Right?
Oh, well, that's a different issue.
Sure, I'm just saying that like the idea that poor people in the United States are all starving that's not a good characterization of what it means to be poor.
Right.
As soon as I see somebody say that, I already know that they have no idea what they're, not to be mean. I'm sorry. This is like there's a bunch of like disconnected topics here. It's just there's a lot of experiences in the United States that aren't captured accurately. Like being poor sucks for a wide variety of reasons. It's not because you're actually starving to death. Okay. It's not because you're like, I don't have enough calories to eat and now my stomach is bloated.
Yeah.
Like the kids that lived in fucking Auschwitz or whatever.
No, that's true. I think that there's basically like 3 or 4 different things that and every single one of these could be a conversation, which we're not going to do now. Like, but the working poor being overweight relates to the subsidies of foods that are cheap on a per calorie basis, and people who have limited funds going, well, if I can buy 100 calories of vegetables or 500 of crackers for the same $2, I'm going to get the cheaper calories, right? So, I mean, these are all different. They're all real issues. And they're different.
Yeah, for sure.
Issues.
And they tie together. If you're from an upper class family or middle class family, you're much more likely to have better education when it comes to like healthy eating and like taking the time to learn how to cook and prepare meals and having the time to cook and prepare meals. Because if you're working a full-time job or 2 jobs or whatever, you don't always have time to like, do that.
Are you off sucrose?
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Right. No, that's the trendy thing. Do you do like green drinks and stuff?
I don't know what any of that means.
Good. No, that's good. You're actually you're answering these questions correctly in a lot of ways. Okay. Wow. But so then I guess where we were was so from the standpoint of profitability, would just going full-time games make sense from your business standpoint?
I don't care. I mean, I already make way too much money anyway, so I can live off less if I need to.
Oh, you make too much. Are you donating big time?
Fuck no.
You're not. Okay. Interesting.
I was trying to save enough money so that if I get banned from everything, I'll like have enough to live for the rest of my life.
Do you think you could be
obligations? Yeah. In terms of like what I want to have saved, then I'd probably start doing more like charitable stuff. But
do you feel as though you're at risk of a full cancellation?
Yeah, of course. I get like banned from all sorts of random shit all the time for like random fuck reasons. So,
wow. Man, I just
saying, or any of the people in your chat, if anybody ever wants to chat with me on any of these issues, I'll be glad to like put them through the fucking ringer, okay? Because like everything I've said is 100% true thus far. If you disagree with anything, feel free to hop on afterwards. Another thing that's irritating too is that like all these socialist lefty fucks have gotten like all these conservatives banned from every platform too, but then all of the lefties are too scared to talk because they won't step outside their giant fucking like circle jerks because they know that they're like ill-informed on literally every topic that they make YouTube videos about. So not only can I like not talk to conservatives anymore because they're all banned from everything, all of the dipshit socialists like won't talk to anybody either because they don't ever want to be challenged. So it's like it's the ultimate in like boring like combinations of conditions online. Which
okay,
really
wait, but so I'm curious. Who's an example of a socialist who got someone banned but won't talk to others?
Oh my god. In terms of like Vosh, the serfs.
Who did Vosh get banned?
Well, not like these particular people didn't get banned, but like their communities were like championed to get people like banned from platforms and stuff. So I don't know if Vosh personally has got anybody banned, but like their communities will run around and like mass report like any conservative or any perceived conservative on the internet or whatever.
Okay, Vosh's community, who did they get banned?
I don't know. Like every time they like run into like certain people, you have to go on their subreddit and find like the threads of like report this person for this shit or whatever.
But have they successfully gotten anyone banned? Have they successfully gotten?
Washington's community are the one that amplified my Rittenhouse tweet and got me deported on Twitch. But I mean, like there are other people too that these guys like post about like pretty relentlessly. But you'd have to go like look at the subreddit and shit.
Well, I'm not the one who brought it up.
Sure, I don't keep track of every. I'm not ready to have like a conversation of like who have they specifically attacked. But you can go and like look through like subreddits and watch it happen.
Now Vosh does do some engagement. I feel like with people on the right, like he was interviewed. There's this guy who he's sort of like another one of these. He's the real liberal, Tim Pool. I don't know if you're familiar with him. And Vosh engaged with him. That's notable, I guess.
Yeah, if they feel like they'll do well, they'll do it. But if it's somebody that's going to be challenging, usually they'll avoid it because they'll call it irresponsible platforming or whatever.
If you were me, would you do an in-person debate with Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, of course you should. Why not? He's an incredibly popular figure online, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there have been some initial inquiries that have taken place, so I'm starting to ask around. You would do it. You think it would be good for me to do it?
Yeah, of course. Any popular conservative figure, you should.
Okay. You doing okay? Because you seem on edge today.
Well, you caught me in the middle of a league game, so it's already off to a bad start, you know.
Is league triggering for you?
It's one of the worst things that ever happened to all of fucking mankind. Almost as bad as the online white socialist crowd. Not quite as bad though, but
wow,
it's up there.
Wow. What are you having for breakfast these days?
On a gym day, I'm usually eating some kind of like oats, and then
Oats.
Jesus.
What do you do? You like
some kind of oats and a banana, and then on non-gym days it'll just be a protein shake.
How do you prepare the oats?
I usually just pour it in a bowl, pour some milk, sometimes microwave it.
You wouldn't do oats with water, right? Like that should not even be legal.
I don't even know. I would just eat them raw before doing something so disgusting.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's good. All right. Any questions for me?
How have you been doing? How's life?
You know, just been doing the thing. I was in Spain actually a little bit ago, and almost got stuck there because of some false positive COVID tests. What else? Yeah, I don't know. Not much to tell. We're just, we're ramping up for 2022, basically. We got election next week and just kicking around.
Gotcha. Sounds like fun.
Is there a gun firing in the background?
I live in LA, so there's always just like a bunch of random stupid shit going on outside. At
okay.
7,000 decibels. I don't know.
I know what I wanted to ask you about. I've been seeing this new setup where it's basically you in a room with a blurry background and a light that changes color. Is this like your permanent streaming setup now?
A light in a background changing color, like where I'm at right now?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, this is my apartment where I've lived for over a year, yeah.
But the visual has changed over the last maybe 6 months or something?
My visuals have changed. No, I mean, in Europe it was different.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
David, your chat triggers the ever-living fuck out of me. Oh my God.
Why? What's my chat doing?
Just people saying the dumbest things. When a person uses the F word incessantly, it's a good indication of their inability to communicate effectively. I like it when people like try to break out thesauruses to sound smart. That's a Vosh viewer right there if I ever saw one. But anyway, sorry.
Stephen, here's the last thing I wanted to touch on.
Touch me, David.
If we were to compile a list of prominent Latino American streamers, you and I obviously would be on the list. But who else would be on?
Enough to be on the list? Or
who else would be on the list?
I don't know. Find somebody that talks about killing wealthy people and spams ACAB on their Twitter all day, and then maybe they'll be brown enough to make the cut.
See, that seems like an completely unhinged reaction to my question.
I'm just trying to be honest. I'm just trying to guide you correctly. Okay.
Oh boy.
I don't know who the popular Latinos are. I have no fucking idea.
But you're certainly the most popular Cuban American streamer, right?
I have no idea. Maybe.
Jeez.
Am I?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see.
What are you? Were you debating Charlie Kirk at?
No. There's been one email. There's nothing. It's like nothing yet. It's nothing. I have no idea. Hello? Steven?
Was it like an email from a Charlie Kirk affiliate, or was like somebody that's hosting a conference that's like, oh, maybe we can get Charlie Kirk. Would you be interested if we can get him?
No, it's his team. His team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It would be something. I think it would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Hey, are you okay including avocado as part of a well-balanced breakfast, or is that triggering?
You know what? I'm going to be totally honest. I'll take the hate for it. Avocados are massively fucking overrated. The only people that circle jerk avocados are like, if they got out of their house, they stopped eating chicken tendies for the first time in their life, like, oh, avocados are so fucking good. Like, avocados are fine. They're nice to have on things. Guacamole is nice to have on things. But like, anybody that freaks the fuck out over avocados has just never eaten anything good in their entire life. I'm sorry, but that's just a factual statement.
Hold on. How did you pronounce the snack made from mashed up avocado? Say that one more time.
Guacamole?
Oh, okay. I thought I heard something weird in there. No, I think an avocado is almost a perfect fruit, to be totally honest with you.
Wow.
I mean, it's like it's got protein, it's got fiber, it's got healthy fats. Whether, it's almost like it just is. It's almost a perfect fruit. It's hard to imagine it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when it gets stringy, it's like, okay.
The fact that it just tastes kind of meh.
I think the most legitimate attack on avocado is the amount of water required to grow them is questionable environmentally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just what a responsible take from you.
Yep.
I'm proud.
Yep.
Have you seen any movies lately, David? Deepak Pacman?
I haven't seen it. I actually tried to watch Dune over the weekend. Couldn't figure out how to get HBO Max. The movie theater I wanted to go to with the assigned seat recliners only had seats left in the back row corner. I wasn't going to do that. Couldn't get HBO Max going. I bailed on the entire thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, geez, that just sounds traumatizing.
I guess I would watch Dune if I could figure out how to do it.
Okay. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you can figure that out. It's definitely a movie worth. I recommend. When do you normally go to sleep?
Every day.
No, what time?
Around 11.
Okay. I'd say put it on around 10:30, and I'd say 30 minutes in you'll be out, because it is just the most boring fucking movie I've ever seen in my
I
entire
did
life.
see that it's 2 hours and 50 minutes long. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a good snoozer too. So you'll be through almost getting to your second REM cycle by the time you're asleep and the movie's ending. So
Speaking
really nice
of REM,
soundtrack to listen to. Yeah.
Have you read Why We Sleep by Matt Walker?
No, but is it another one of those pop science books that has like an ounce of truth and like a pound of fiction or whatever?
No. It's quite good. I think it's worth reading.
Why does he say we sleep?
Is there a bell in the background now?
It's LA. There's just all sorts of random fucking noises here.
But I'm trying. Are those noises coming from outside your house?
There could be a goddamn cathedral being erected for all I fucking know. I truly don't know, David. I wish I could tell you.
Well.
Why do we sleep, though? Can you please help me? You've piqued my interest, and now you're not answering.
It's actually so complicated. You can't really suss it out into one sentence, really.
Okay, can you give me like the cliff notes, a couple highlights?
We sleep for reparative functions. We sleep for reasons that are still as yet unclear. We sleep for evolutionary reasons. We sleep. I mean, it's there's so many different reasons. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Yeah. Okay, I believe you.
So listen, I'll check in with you offline about whether you'll still be in LA when I'm going to be there.
Okay. I mean, I'll be here until probably like the middle of next month, maybe. It just depends on when I find an apartment in Miami.
Like November 15th or December 15th?
Well, next month I believe is November. Last I checked. So.
Yeah, but with it being almost November, I wasn't sure what you meant.
Oh well, I meant when I said next month, I meant the next month.
Okay, let me clarify.
Yeah.
Most leases start on the 1st of the month. So in my head, I'm thinking if you don't have a November 1 lease, we're probably talking about December 1.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah. Jeez. All right. Well, anyway, I'll check in with you. All right.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Melina's doing okay?
I hope so. She's in the UK right now, so.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Now it sounds like someone's chopping vegetables.
There might be vegetables outside being chopped. Who knows?
Cool.
Anything's possible.
All right, Stephen, always a pleasure.
Okay. Have fun. Be careful, buddy.
All right, you too. Man. All right, let's see what's said now.
Are you happy for starting a game when I was busy? Do you feel good about yourself? Was it worth it, Mooten?
No, you fucked
Was
yourself.
it worth it?
You know what? You're not getting that.
I just want to know if are you having fun right now? Is this fun to you? To destroy my account?
Honestly not.
Yeah.
I
good.
didn't destroy the.
You're destroying it. Okay, time to bring it back, okay? I need 1 kill to get my 2-7 power spike.
Wow. All right, well, listen, for the people who like the Destiny content, we did it, and it's very occasional. So if you don't like it, we've done our check-in, and that's a great thing. Let me say thank you to some incredible people. Scientific Nick Lovin, Zavoria, Foxy's Dragon, Laced Dragon, and Crimson Elric have signed up via Twitch Prime, putting us at 63. Also, big thank you to Potato McWhiskey, who hosted my stream as well, which is really, really a great thing. Okay, next stream. Tomorrow, we are diving beyond federal elections. Tomorrow, Glenn Youngkin, who is a radical right-wing Republican running for governor of Virginia. This is a hugely consequential race. He's running against Terry McAuliffe. The Democrat, Republican is Glenn Youngkin. Tomorrow night, Glenn Youngkin has one of these unhinged rallies. If you thought that a Trump rally was crazy.
Surrounded by water, big water.
The noise causes
ocean
cancer.
water.
Then he went, Donald Trump, yeah, Donald Trump. Throw him the hell out of here.
Anyway, if you thought a Trump rally was crazy, tomorrow night, we are covering the Glenn Youngkin rally. We will also be covering in this last 8-day stretch before the election. Barack Obama has been rallying with Terry McAuliffe. He may do it again this week. I will be covering that live. So that's tomorrow night, I think at 7 p.m. East, 4 p.m. West.
Obama.
Maybe doing a rally, and that's going to be a really, really good thing. Okay, so that's going to do it for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. It's been a real pleasure. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you.